Wherever there is the love of liberty that is true, there I am. Wherever there is a heart that beats for freedom and for life, there I am. I am the spirit of immortal freedom to an age. And I am Saint Germain, your compatriot of light. I stand with you to open this conference dedicated to that immortal freedom and its fire burning on the heart's altar of every child of God, worlds without end. Keepers of the flame, sons and daughters of God, I welcome you to my flaming heart, and I open the spiral of violet flame from the blazing sun presence of Omritas, whose presence here, hovering over this very physical earth, is supported and sustained by the 144,000 priests of the sacred fire who serve with him as he has vowed his life to uphold the office of Gautama Buddha and to expand the violet flame for freedom's age in the very heart of earth and her people. I come then as the spokesman of this great hierarch of light to consider with you this day what are the ramifications of the release of such a stupendous light of freedom to earth from cosmic sources, and how the vanguard of light bearers must be fully and wholly prepared to keep that flame. Therefore, in the courtesy of divine grace and in my own heart's love, I bid you be seated. As we have expressed to you before, the sending of light to earth and to the hearts of those who pray fervently for justice is somewhat of an equation, complex and mathematical, which simple and sincere hearts do not always understand. I ask you to appreciate then the very fact of life and the factor of the formula of the transfer of energy of spheres. You understand the principle in nuclear fission of the swift transfer of energy from atom to atom. You understand many of the processes in nature. Life then consists of the movement of energy. How, when, where, by whom, and under what circumstances does therefore influence all manifestation. Consider then the triggering of anger, even if it is not in the awareness of all people. When that anger, that is the anger of Antichrist, does manifest in the person of the betrayer, Peshualga, and is anchored by his consort, you therefore understand there is a manifestation that is transmitted in all directions, and the body of that anger, moving from the sphere of that individual in embodiment to others in embodiment, creates a chain reaction across the planet that can scarcely be contained by elemental life. It is important that you realize that wherever there is an unleashing of war or a release of the anti-forces of death with the explosive quality of anger, millions, therefore, who are connected to the originating source of one or more fallen angels or betrayers do actually receive simultaneously upon their identical electronic blueprint this force of energy, which therefore becomes a nucleus in all geographical areas for the stirring up of the multitudes of mechanization men and of the children of the light who are yet in a state of holy innocence and without the full God mastery of divine sonship. Realizing then the impact of discord and that it is transmitted regardless of the outer knowledge of individuals who express it as to its source, you may also realize that light too is transmitted, and the moment we allow the descent of light into the hearts and chakras of our devotees, we realize that that light and their disposal of it is subject, one, to their own self-mastery, and two, to the impinging conditions and force fields of planetary discord and the astral hordes who will attempt to tear from them that light by any and all possible means. Therefore, when we see the light which we release to faithful and true hearts who are sincere become misqualified in inharmony, discord, irritation, or argumentation, and thereby become a part of the planetary chain reaction of anger, we cannot and we will not release those extraordinary momentums of the Holy Spirit that are after all necessary for the resolution of such crisis as you have reviewed today in the Middle East. Thus we stand waiting to pour out of our causal body, out of the very storehouse of heaven's sons, the answer to the equation. We must remind you that more light requires more mastery, constancy, and determination. It is our desire that you think of us in more of a personal manner and as though we were physical. For in actuality, we are physical, but we are physical beyond the spectrum of your physical sight, and often beyond the sensitivity of your outer senses, though not always. When you think of us and know us and feel our presence by your love, you know that we are your friends and co-workers just beyond the veil. You must think of us as just another keeper of the flame who is in the room with you, helping you, deliberating with you, and extending the openness as an open horseshoe of the Darjeeling Council table. We desire that this fraternity of the Great White Brotherhood shall become so real to each and every one of you as to make unthinkable the misqualification of our light when you consider that we are in your very presence and at your very side, loving and cherishing you, upholding you, and delivering you from every condition and circumstance that would beset you in your service. Therefore, I dedicate this conference once again to the great Piscean avatar, our own beloved Jesus, the Son of light and glory. Blessed ones, I dedicate it to him because it is his flame of God mastery held for you in the Piscean dispensation that is what is needed that you might receive the full torch of the Aquarian age. And I say the full torch, for each of you is earning the full petals of that torch, and some of you have it not all yet, as the goddess of liberty also had to pass her initiations to earn every petal of illumination's golden torch which she bears. So you also, test by test, graduation by graduation, must increase the power of your own torch of light and your bearing of the mantle of God mastery. We desire to see, therefore, the Aquarian age in full swing, but it shall not be until, one by one, keepers of the flame recognize the stature of their own godhood and their own innate ability to act as co-workers with ascended masters, to sense themselves apprentices with us and not so far removed from the ascended state. Now, if you look upon devotees in your midst who have already ascended and those intending to do so, you must realize that only a few short years may stand between a Chela and the position of ascended master. Why not expect then that the Chela unascended is acting and behaving like the ascended master? In reality, there ought not to be so great a difference. It only lies within the erroneous conception of what is perfection, what is the heavenly state, what is the idea of man as the manifestation of God. Well, beloved, the imagination of men's hearts, which is continually to do evil and has been such since before the era of the flood of Noah on this planet, is therefore incapable of imagining the perfection of Christ, therefore occupying the same place as the body temple you wear. I tell you that perfection can indeed manifest where you are and where this messenger is, contrary to all human and carnal mindedness. For you see, perfection is the vibrancy, an onward movingness, the ongoingness of God that is formed and reformed and self-transcending. It can never be the static quality of the statue, but is always the joy flame itself, is always the rippling, swirling light that makes perfect even the incomplete expression of the unascended soul. Therefore walk as children of the light. In the words of the apostle, walk as children of the light. In the words of Jesus, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Walk after the Spirit and not after the flesh, and thereby you will understand your tremendous capacity to carry that more light for which we have called, the more light that can hold the balance against the entire laggard evolutions of this earth. Blessed ones, when you hold that light, therefore this is what you can expect with the incoming flow of freedom from the heart of beloved Omritas. You can expect that freedom's fires will let loose all levels of consciousness within the individual. The era of freedom now dawning must be an era of caution on the part of the teachers and shepherds of the people. For all must come forth, all must be unloosed, and the purification is accelerated. Freedom then to be one's full God potential is the freedom to put into the flame all that is less than that potential. The freedom flame comes as violet fire to transmute and to consume. Therefore, beloved hearts of light, seize then divine opportunity to stand guard that this inundation of old momentums passing into the flame does not become the trigger for planetary chaos. For you see, when you have been a servant of God for a number of years, decades, or lifetimes, you do bear with you in your cells and in your chakras a reservoir of light, and thus when you misqualify energy on coming day by day from our octaves, when you allow the flushing out of your own past human creation to cause anew some discord, then the light that is in you already, that you have stored there in service, may amplify the discord, may multiply it, and then the word may be true. If the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Is it ever then worthwhile for you to be caught off guard when the price is so high and the payment is of past attainment, and when you can so easily take many backward steps on the conveyor belt of life that is a part of the path of the ascension? Now let me explain what this conveyor belt is. Some of you have traveled in the larger airports of the capitals of the nations of the world, and you have traveled partly on foot and partly on conveyor belt, on and off again. Beloved ones, the conveyor belt on the path signifies your own good works and good momentums of the past that you bring with you. And just when you need a little help and a little strength, you are carried on your own past momentum of your own causal body of light. Now, if in the course of using that momentum, you should then turn and rend your own virtue and allow yourself to be off guard, you would lose that advantage. And you need that advantage when in hours of service you have given all you can give, and yet you are required yet to fight the good fight. Then you are happy when carrying another's baggage and the karma of nations to experience a little way on the path, on the conveyor belt of your own momentum. Let us not spend the money in our cosmic bank. Let us not unnecessarily squander the light of our causal body. Every ounce of discord you allow to pass through you is momentously costly to you as an individual and to the greater cause of the brotherhood, because in a computer-like fashion, the cosmic Christ, Lord Maitreya, does determine then that a dispensation of light oncoming must be held back until once again you go back to the first steps on the path and once again cherish in utter humility the very fact that you have a threefold flame and a mighty I am presence. When you maintain the humble mean, beloved ones, when you remember your state as a pilgrim of God, and you the debtor unto cosmos, and God extending mercy and grace to you to be his instrument, then you do not so easily fall into the pride of the tempter that causes you to misqualify energy. But if on the course of becoming one with God, you think yourself a God, and you make pronouncements concerning other chelas whose hearts may be purer than your own, you see that pride will go before the fall, and the fall will be of your own fruit, of your own tree of life, so needlessly. Let us therefore consider that the more progress you make on the path as disciples, the more you must be careful of that singular vice of the fallen one himself, which is spiritual pride. Let us remain then together humble servants, for I am also humble before the throne of the Almighty, and I do remember my station first, foremost, and always as a servant of the Most High God, and that all these things he has added unto me, as the offices which I hold are by the grace and mercy of God, which offices I could not hope to fulfill without his grace and his continuing sponsorship of me. Beloved hearts, you know that as I have given my light and life for individuals in the past and lost the wager that I placed, you know that the karmic board has had to deny me continuing opportunity and dispensation because of the failure of certain life streams upon earth. I can assure you that in those hours of the great sense of loss in the timetable of the destiny of earth, as I have knelt before the Lord God Almighty and before Elohim, it is they and they alone who have strengthened me and given me renewed courage and heart and life to continue with the struggle for freedom. Thus I always remember that when one is in the service of the holy cause, one in any octave must be humbly and totally dependent upon that living presence of Alpha and Omega in the heart of the great central sun. I wish to pay homage to the Father, Mother God, to the very presence in this cosmos of their love which sustains all of our effort, all of our enduring and our striving, and those moments of hopelessness which are turned by the mighty Archaea into tears of hopefulness as we look to the sky again and behold the rainbow and the hosts of the Lord descending, and we know that no matter what the past has been, God has once again ordained a new opportunity, a new light, and a new dispensation. Therefore, in gratitude, in humble gratitude for all that has been given by your own mighty I Am presence through your own grateful, determined, God-loving hearts, I, Saint Germain, stand before you, this flag as the banner of the I Am race, my backdrop, for I have determined to focus through these 50 stars, rays 50 in number, focusing upon the entire planetary body, focusing upon hearts of the seed of Sanat Kumara for a restoring to the life of liberty and to the true worth of the individual and the original foundation of this nation and of the dispensation of the seed of Sanat Kumara born through Abraham and come to earth for a cosmic purpose. In focusing the white fire core of Alpha and Omega as the fiery heart of Serapis, of our messengers and our chelas, it is my intent to use the momentum of the ascension flame delivered to you by the beloved Serapis Bey to quicken the violet flame spheres of which we now, as you know, have a 14-month dispensation. This white fire with the violet flame then will saturate planet Earth and her evolutions to draw the individuals of light into the alignment with their own 5-pointed star, which is the nucleus of the 5 secret rays surrounding the white fire core of their own God-free being. Let America, every state, every soul of light, and every soul of light on earth receive the whirling 5-pointed star as the very call to that nationhood, which is the community and the federation of the 12 tribes of Israel, of those light bearers who come marching in the name of the Lamb and in the name of the 144,000. Therefore, let the fire roll through this conference. Let every decree to the violet flame and your calls to purity reach the hearts of the light bearers across the face of the world. We shall use the publicity regarding this messenger and our Church universal and triumphant to contact souls of light who have never been contacted before, and we shall see to it that the tables are turned upon these fallen ones who have continued to oppress our manifestation and our victory. Their hour is come, they shall not pass. You have but to decree it and to see the rolling back of their own proud wave and the rolling back of all the hordes who are so afraid of your own presence and thou and light and the descent of our own through you. Let the calls continue then, and let your fiery hearts perceive the ebb and the flow of the tide of life. For they say every dog has his day. Well, you have seen the dogs have their day. Now it is time for the sons of God to have their day. But you must claim it, and claim it you shall in the name of Omri Tas. And you shall deliver the mandate of the goddess of liberty. You shall deliver the mandate of my heart. And you shall be keepers of the violet flame and the white firelight of the mother. You shall be clothed upon in white and violet hue, and the golden crown upon your head shall signify to all the Bodhisattva becoming the Buddha and the mother. And you will understand, therefore, the extreme necessity to guard that violet flame action from giving any more fuel to the laggard races in the Middle East and anywhere else upon this planetary body. And therefore, by the authority of my own office as hierarch of the Aquarian age, I empower you in my name to make the call for the withdrawal of all support of the violet flame and the white fire of the ascension light from all laggard evolutions, that they may not misqualify the light of God, that they may not turn light to darkness. Therefore, let there be the sealing of this release. And I say in the name of Elohim, let all release of light to this planet bypass then the godless, the fallen ones, the watchers, the Nephilim, and all who have been guests upon this planetary home, unwelcomed and uninvited guests. Let it bypass them, let them be bound, let them be sealed in the name of Almighty God, and therefore let them be sealed in their own karma, in their own willfulness, in their own stiff-necked manifestation. Let them be bound by their own returning karma, and let there be in this hour the first of a series of separations of the tares and of the wheat, and therefore let the light bearers receive the light and retain it, and I demand you retain it in God harmony, and let the fallen ones be sealed and cut off, and let the goddess of liberty keep the flame of illumination to illumine the light bearers in this dark night of planetary body and of the Kali Yuga, and let the fallen ones and the dark ones be bound, and let them go through their own cycles of decay, disintegration, and death, and let the light bearers accelerate. This then is the fiat from the heart of Alpha and Omega. This is the dispensation. It will work to its maximum manifestation if you understand your role as true keepers of the flame and bearers of the torch of liberty. If you understand ultimately and finally and conclusively your need to maintain God harmony. And beloved ones, it will manifest in the full divine potential if every light bearer and heart of light on earth recognizes and hears this call and answers. And it will manifest in decreasing success according to the withdrawal of light bearers of their support of me and my mission, and their abdication from their office as they enter into negativity and discord. Thus you see, only the light bearers in embodiment can give birth to this dispensation, and only the light bearers can abort it, for the fallen ones have no power to stay the hand of the Almighty through you. Only you yourselves, by succumbing to the temptation of indulgence in human pride and human will, can turn back the mighty oncoming light. Blessed ones, I therefore say to you that if you are not able to channel this light into physical manifestation by your own absence of will in this determination, it will therefore manifest on the etheric plane. But the manifestation of the etheric plane and the golden age there and the temples of light will do you no more good in your physical waking consciousness than the etheric plane affords you in this hour. The etheric plane, therefore, must also be drawn down by you. Every manifestation of every temple of light, the golden cities, the architecture, the divine art, all this can come through the causal body of Omri Tas, multiplying the dispensation of Serapis Bey and my own situation in the office of the Aquarian age. All who have attainment in the violet flame are being multiplied by these releases in this hour. Thus you yourselves, being beings of violet fire, ought to be joyous, buoyant, determined, and ever on guard. In the fiat of Archangel Michael, I am the guard. Blessed hearts of light, let us see that these tremendous dispensations are no longer left as ornaments on the highest branches of our tree of life in the etheric plane, but let us bring down these spheres of the causal bodies of the beings of light to the very lowest branches, to the physical octave. Why, you can do it if you place first things first and determine that for every one of those thousands who have perished in Lebanon needlessly, you will bear the cross, you will bear the crown, you will bear the victory, and you will be the voice. As you have been decreeing this day, as our messenger has delivered her message, she has been aware of the surrounding of herself and this force field with the souls of light bearers recently perished in Beirut. These souls, blessed hearts, heard the cry and the call of the mother and her seed, and asked to be taken here by angels of light, and their prayer was granted, and they have come to see their own redemption, their own fulfillment, that they have neither lived nor died in vain, for the saints robed in white are not only in heaven, they are on earth. And I can tell you that on the etheric plane there are tears of joy in the eyes of children, women, and all who have gone on to other octaves, for they see that their cause will go marching on through you. And I can assure you that in another hour, in another era, the situation has been reversed, and you yourselves, making the transition at the hand of the fallen ones, have looked to see other saints robed in white, keeping the flame for you. Now, by the God determination of those who see your own determination, they desire to reincarnate, and they shall. For the lords of karma give precedence and preeminence to the requests of the light bearers for entrance into the portals of earth in this hour. I tell you, the lords of karma are impressed with any life stream today who, in the full knowledge of earth's conditions, actually volunteers to take embodiment, to take the mantle of the cause, and to fight on the line where light meets darkness and swallows it up. I wish you to know that in recent events, where suddenly and without prior warning, life has gone on, sons of Britain, sons of Argentina, sons of Poland, Afghanistan, of Russia, these light bearers dying for the cause to which they have been set, either by their leaders or by their souls, these who find themselves on the other side of life, taken so swiftly and in the prime of youth, I have taken them to my heart. I have shown them the cause and core of war and of the fallen ones. I have shown them the alignment of nations and leaders. And one by one, those who have served in this century, who have seen the futility of the cause of the Nephilim, have come and are returning into embodiment to align themselves with the faithful and true. Do not realize there is a design, there is a geometry, and there is a destiny in this battle of Armageddon. And Maitreya, the cosmic Christ, has called his light bearers from the four corners of the universe to be in embodiment and to serve in the victory of earth. We are not asleep. We are not without the battle plan. We are not without our majestic understanding and concern for every single life stream of this planet. And therefore, all you have to do to make a golden age happen is to be in God harmony and joy, to give the fiat to be practical, to listen to our suggestions, and to take them seriously when they come forth out of the mouth of the messenger, to heed our warning, to prepare the place, and to continue to stump in God's name. All of these activities which we have set before you are being made possible by the dispensation of the violet flame. Understand that violet flame as making possible the acceleration of cycles and all things that could never be done without that flame and without the angels who ensoul it. I send them to the inner retreat. I send them with you to your homes and study groups and teaching centers. I send them all around the world where a heart beats for freedom and cares for life and bears the torch of liberty. And they will not fail, and you will not fail, if you understand the equation that the entire golden age culture of the mother and of invention can also come through this dispensation of violet flame. Therefore, see that every attempt to steal those secrets of technology and invention is a violation of that light, and some must stand guard so that we may have invention without it being passed to the camp of the enemy. This is an intolerable situation that has stayed the forward march of progress in America, this allowance of agents of foreign and enemy governments to lodge within her borders, to encamp themselves in the United Nations and in Washington, to send their spies and their KGB, and therefore to seize from the very laboratories of scientists those inventions before they are even formulated or manifest. Beloved ones, this must come to an end, and beloved K-17 and Lanello this day are absolutely determined to help each and every one of you who will set your heart to the reversing of this injustice, this cosmic injustice in the nation of America. Let us see, therefore, a multiplication of this body of light bearers, and let us see now the rolling back of all laggard consciousness in the midst of the people of God that would tear from them their victory. The crown of victory is held above the heads of those becoming world conquerors. One day it will be bestowed by the world mother upon you. Would you allow any man, any fallen one, any demon or laggard to tear from you your crown, precious hearts?
No!
Will I come as your eyes and ears and mouthpiece of cosmos to tell you that that is exactly what is happening in this very hour? They are all too clever to attempt to seize it in the moment of your ultimate victory, for they know you would not allow it. Therefore, before you are even born to the spirit, born to the idea of your own ascension, they begin to steal a little leaf of that laurel crown, a little leaf here, a little leaf there, a little flame here and there, and it is not noticed because you have not yet gained the full mastery of each and every one of those petals. And therefore, as light flows easily in the midst of the messengership, it is easy to say, I do not need this little bit, I will do without it. But you see, this is based on a child's assessment of the need of the crown. God has never given to you anything that you did not need, for God is a practical God. The crown of victory is not a crown of adornment alone, but a crown of need. It is a fiery sphere of light that accelerates the momentum of the crown chakra and allows you to propel yourself into other octaves of service. Therefore, beloved ones, cherish the crown before it is given. Cherish the crown you are winning and weaving. Cherish the crown, and let no man take thy crown. America, O mother of the world, O liberty, hear my call. Let no man take thy crown. Hear me, O people of light. Hear me, O citizens of world freedom and of a cosmos Let no man take the crown of life of the I Am Presence from America, from the light bearers of every nation. Let the crown of victory now be manifest, be secured, and be protected by the legions of light. I, Saint Germain, decree it, and I seal you in my purple, fiery heart for your victory now and forever.